out. Okay. Yay! We are live. We did it. We did it. We did it. Good morning and happy Saturday, everyone. I'm going to. All right, there we go. Okay. Welcome to It Is Time to Fly podcast. I am here with my friend, my sister in Christ, Amanda, and I am super excited to share what has been going on in her life. I'm just checking my phone on the other side, and let me mute myself. Let me mute my other phone to make sure we are good. Amanda, you may have to mute yourself until you come off mute to talk. That way we don't have any feedback or anything. But today we are on here and we are going to just really share, literally ask Amanda to do this last night. And I want to just share with you what's been going on in her life. I met Amanda over a year ago at a barrel race. Really is the first time. I'd seen her a few times before, but didn't really know her. But the Lord really put it on my heart to really just go talk to her and love on Amanda and all the things. And that is something the gift the Lord has given me is to really listen to his voice and act and do it with nothing in return. Absolutely nothing in return. So I knew that I needed to deal hope to her. But today she's actually going to come on here. I'm trying to fix my screen. And she's going to actually deal hope to y'all. So Amanda, come off mute and introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about you.
Hello. Yes, as Brandy said, I'm Amanda Crawford. I am a nurse. I'm a mom.
Hang on. We were doubled. Okay, now go now. We were doubled in
Okay.
our volume there.
Oh, gotcha. Again, I'm Amanda Crawford. I live here in Van Alstyne. I'm a nurse. I'm a mom. And I am a work in progress.
Yes, let me make sure we are still live because I had it double pulled up. Okay, we are still good and we are still going. Let me make sure where it says we're still live. Okay, we are still good. I had two different tabs pulled up.
Gotcha.
So it was kind of giving us feedback. So we are good to go. Okay, so Amanda, so we met at barrel race. Our kids both barrel race and ride horses and all of the things. And y'all know what I do. Y'all know I'm a health coach. Y'all know I do ministry. I have been helping women for years and years and years in my life through all kinds of different things in their lives, whether it be spiritually, financially, emotionally, all the things. From owning a gym to helping people lose weight and all the things. And so we really want to come on here and just share what that's been like for Amanda. So when I reached out to Amanda, we really just became friends and it just really wanted to be a bright light in her life. Because I know that the struggle was real that she was going through, guys. You can see it on people. It's not we've all been there. We all struggle from time to time. We've all had our ups, our downs, and all the things. And but I knew the Lord put her in my life for a reason, and I knew the Lord had highlighted her to me for such a time as this. So, Amanda, kind of just start sharing about from the time we met, and we actually really how we kind of create a relationship is we just kind of started meeting once a week on video chat. So, just kind of start there.
Sure. So yes, I'll never forget that night at that barrel race. I think we were in Blue Ridge. And I knew who Brandy and Dwayne were because we go to Kings Trail, but hadn't ever, officially met them or talked to them. And she was just so encouraging that night and kind of just sharing a little bit about what they do, but mostly just encouraging us to. We joked around about how my husband and I always sit in the back row because we're late to church. So she even encouraged us to challenge us to come be a greeter. um, so that we would be more challenged to get there early. And not too long after that, my husband and I and our daughter were in a bad car accident, a head-on collision, and our lives just completely, literally almost flipped upside down, but it was the best flip that could have ever happened to us. And the friendship that Brandy and I had started to build was perfect timing, God's timing, because her and Dwayne, I know Dwayne prayed with Corey multiple times, and just the timing of it was perfect. Again, they were just pouring into us, and we hadn't started on a program or anything, and I thought, this lady actually cares about me and my heart. And yeah, we just started meeting. And honestly, through our meetings, she showed me my value and my worth. And before that, you know, to fight an addiction, mine was food, is food. You have to know your worth. And I didn't really know that before. And then finally, through again, as a nurse, I see lots of people struggling in life, and I just felt like I needed to get a hold of my life and that I was worth it. And so I actually approached her about starting with Optavia. I had done it in the past, but I just wasn't committed before. I didn't know my worth. I was just going through the motions instead of investing in myself. So she
I want to,
invested in me.
yeah, I want to go back and talk about that day of the wreck. Because I'll never forget, like immediately when it happened, I got a notification. Somebody had texted me wanting to know if it was us because it was a horse trailer and it was close to the church. And I'll never forget. And I was trying to find out who it was. And I knew there was something about that wreck. I knew there was something that I needed to be aware of, pay attention to who it was, what was going on, and all the things, because normally it would have just been a wreck of somebody, but I knew there was something bigger to that wreck and what God was doing. And that's how the Lord speaks to you, to be aware to what he's saying, what he's doing, and all the things. And then whenever I found out that it was y'all, that's where, and I had just had that conversation with y'all about being a greeter and coming to church and getting there early and all the things. And that was just a piece of this story. And then there it was. And then y'all had the wreck. Corey broke both of his legs. I think you had a concussion or something. And
Mhm.
anyways, it was just the things that have come out of it. Not that the wreck was good, but that was like a turning day in y'all's life. I believe that was a stop sign saying
Amen.
this is the changing day in y'all's lives. You want to kind of share on that?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so much good came out of that. Jason at our church did a sermon not that long ago talking about beautiful pain, and that literally was the most beautiful pain we've ever gone through in our lives. It's so strange to say that an accident so horrible where the state trooper said none of us should have survived, or at least not the drivers. So much good came, and that's only God. Um, yeah, my husband broke both of his legs. He was trapped in the vehicle. My daughter was in the back seat. We had a horse there. And everyone, even the other vehicle, is up walking and living today. Um, it's there's so many miracles that have come from it. I've made new friends in the people's whose homes the wreck happened outside of. I mean, we've met in community and prayed together, and they sat with me and helped me figure out what to do next. And Peggy from the church, I had never even met her, and she came and cleaned my house. I mean, just so many people poured into us. I can't even name them all, but it gave us hope. My husband was forced to accept help when in the past he never wanted to. He he had started going to men's group some too, and started getting all the hugs they give at men's group, which was also not his favorite thing. And then when
I
he was in
always
the
hug him.
hospital, he missed those hugs. And
Uh-huh.
just it, like you said, it was literally a stop sign to stop living in the world and start truly living our lives and growing our faith. I mean, the Lord was right there in so many ways. Even Jason, our pastor, it happened across the field from his house, and I didn't even realize that at the time. I mean, I knew where they lived, but was I didn't even know where we were because I was asleep when the accident happened. Thank the
Mm.
Lord, because that helped me be relaxed and minimized my injuries. So, I'm standing in the middle of the road, literally alone, waiting for the 911, the emergency authorities to get there. And Jason steps out of into the grass, and I was like, Jason? I like dropped from the sky. Shane Perry was there too, and I didn't even know him at the time. So he went to one vehicle, Jason went to ours, and that was a day that Corey realized he doesn't go to church enough, he said, because Jason came and introduced himself. And I
Yes.
said, I know who you are. And if you don't know who I am, then I need to get there more and earlier. So he kept him laughing and prayed with him. And the comfort that gave me was only next to God himself standing right there with me, the Lord being there. It was just, I knew that God, the Lord, was present there and giving us everything we needed. We just needed to do with it what would glorify him. And that's what we're working on now.
So good. So all of that happens. Corey breaks both of his legs. He's pretty much bedbound for quite a while. You're doing all the things and running the house and doing all the things. And I remember a bunch of us taking meals over and all the things. It was just, God just continued to show up. But then
Mhm.
let's fast forward a little bit. And you and I would meet on Wednesdays, like we talked about. And honestly just volunteered, hey, let's just kind of meet and talk. And every single week, I think it was a no pressure zone. It was a no judgment zone. It was just, hey, I'm here to encourage you. You weren't even on program with me.
Mm-mm.
I was just showing up because the Lord told me to be available for you. And we would show up and meet for 30 minutes and we would talk about, okay, what's next? What's next? And we kind of worked through a bunch of stuff first before we dove into your health.
Mhm.
Because I knew when you were ready that you would be ready, whether it was with me or with somebody else or whatever. I just want to be obedient to the Lord. But I also wanted to be very honest with you too and give you the tools and the help that I knew you needed. But then
Mhm.
I knew you just needed some accountability at first, and we just had to take some baby steps with you. And so that's what we did. And each week I saw growth in you. So let's talk about before you ever went on program, just a little bit of the growth that we saw by showing up every week.
For sure, for sure. That I think I told you a few weeks ago, that is literally the only appointment that I have kept long standing was Wednesdays at noon. Um, And it's just because it was so very important to me. And you in meeting on Wednesdays were teaching me my importance,
Mhm.
and therefore I valued myself enough to take that time. I still struggle in areas of that, and trying to get in more rooms, get to women's group regularly and things like that. But those meetings showed me that if I was valuable enough for you to take that time, then I needed to value myself. And you have been teaching me how to lead myself well. And
Mhm.
I've really learned to lean into you, not on you. And you're honest with me. And it's out of love. If I do
Mhm.
start to lean on you,
Yeah.
it's okay as my sister in Christ and my coach to help me realize that, because it helps me
Yeah.
grow. And
Mhm.
nobody's ever, well, maybe I just never opened my eyes. Maybe people have cared enough to
Yeah.
do that before, but I don't know that my eyes were ever open to it in the past. I've tried this program before, and I was successful at it, but in my mind at that time, I felt like I deserved to also, have fun and eat certain foods. But what you've taught me is I deserve to be healthy, and I
Yes.
deserve a life where I feel like I can live and
Yes.
thrive. And I still have on my mirror something that you told me in the beginning. It's not that I have to do this, it's that I
Mm.
get to, because there are
Yeah.
so many people. I know there's mamas out there fighting for their lives that if you put it in simple terms, if all they had to do was eat better and exercise, they would do it in a heartbeat. So
Yes.
why wouldn't I when I've been given this opportunity? I'm also a cancer survivor. I had ovarian cancer when I was almost 21. And, that's something that it takes more than changing your health habits to overcome. And I have a gift right now that I've overcame that. I need
Yes.
to just continue to know that I'm worth it and know the blessing that doing this is. It's not something I have to do. It's finally something I want to do.
Mhm. So here's the beauty of it is the beauty of having a coach, having the right coach, right? That like I saw that beauty in you. Like I saw that potential in you. I saw all of those things that the Lord had for you, but you just needed someone that believed in you
Yeah.
and that saw you as though the Lord saw you in all of those great things to pull that out of you, because sometimes we're really hard on ourselves, or just our minds are just can't do it, or whatever it is, and so it's hard to do alone. We know the Lord,
Mhm.
number one, is all the Lord, but the Lord used me to pull that out of you, to speak life into you, to bring
Mm.
that belief out in yourself. And God rewired your mind. That was the biggest thing that you've
Yes.
said, is
Yes.
he rewired your mind. And we prayed that he would rewire your thinking, your all the things. And God can rewire. It has to be rewired in order to transform and all of those stuff. I talk about the butterfly. That's why I say it's time to fly. That's why you are such a beautiful picture of what I do, is because we go from a caterpillar to a butterfly, and then you have wings and you start to transform, you start to fly, and all of those other things, which is so absolutely beautiful. But what you said was leading yourself so well and not leaning on me, leaning into me. And you're the one that said that, a while back. And I thought that was so beautiful, because if you people can get that, even people that I coach, not, so many people lean on me. and they don't lead themselves well. I can't lead Amanda. I can't make Amanda get up in the morning and eat her fuelings and go for a walk and all that stuff. Amanda has to decide to lead herself well and walk through the steps of the things, the suggestions that I've given her, but ultimately she has to lead herself well. So, we're going to kind of get into her health journey now and kind of talk about this and how it's going. Amanda started on program with me. I don't know, has it been 6, 7, 8 months? I don't
It's
know what it
July
is.
31st. So
She knows the date. Okay. All right. And
tomorrow
this
will
is,
be 5 months.
that's it?
Mhm.
Golly. We're going to talk about her health journey. And so I want you to kind of start out because I also want to share with everyone about the majority, however you say that word, majority and all that stuff. It kind of start there and what you started, how that
Sure.
didn't really work until you put it with Optavia and all the other
Yeah.
things. So kind of just share there and I'm just going to listen.
Okay. So, yes, I started Manjaro, let's see, I'm guessing probably like May-ish, at the recommendations of my doctor, who I've seen for years and who actually first led me to, at the time it was, Take Shape for Life or Medifast, years
Mhm.
ago. So he's a believer in the program. He's great at helping people with weight loss. And anyway, so he recommended the Manjaro because my lifestyle had also led to high blood sugars and all of that. So this was going to be a combination that he thought would really help me. And it has, but it didn't on its own. I did lose probably 15, maybe 20 pounds. But then I stopped losing, and even though my dose was increasing, and I just wasn't getting the right balance of nutrition. So being a registered nurse, I know what to eat. I know how to teach people, about diet and nutrition, but I just wasn't doing it. Um, and the shot had made me, it delays gastric emptying. So I wasn't hungry very often. So I wasn't eating a lot, but I also wasn't eating well. So I wasn't getting the proper nutrients to allow my body to lose the weight. So um, then that's when I was talking to you about starting on program. And I met with my doctor not that long ago, and he said, he really feels like the two paired together um, are what helped me because, again, you can't lose weight also if your body's not getting enough nutrition because it thinks it needs to hold on to everything because you're not feeding it. So the combination of the two has allowed me to so far lose over 60 pounds. And more than that, I've lost a lot of my fears. I've
Mhm.
lost, so many burdens, and I've gained so much. And not only, for myself, but for my family, my kids, they're getting healthier in their own ways. And seeing them so proud of me is just it's changed my life, and I want that for other people. I want that hope and that just it's like a hug every time I see how proud they are. We were somewhere shopping not that long ago, and they found this cute little jacket. I was gonna wear it today, but it was dirty. But I tried on what would have been a size that I would have thought would have been too small for me, a 3X, and it fit and it was big. And so we're out in this little boutique and they're like, try it too. And so I tried it and it was still big. And of course, sizes are different in different brands or whatnot. But I ended up getting an extra large. And my son said, go tell dad what size it is. Like, they were just so excited for me. And it's amazing. It's great. It's life changing. It's
You
worth
know,
it.
they've seen you on your hard days. they watched your health deteriorate. They watched all of those things, and to see that you starting to come alive. And so as you lost the 60 pounds, it really wasn't about what you lost, it's what you gained.
Yep.
And so as you lose that weight, you gain confidence, you
Mhm.
gain health, you gain good sleep, you gain
Yeah.
energy, you gain all of these things that you're gaining you're a healthier family, you're gaining all of these incredible things. But so I want to kind of explain what she said is she had actually started on the shot before Optavia, but she needed to pair it with Optavia because she needed the nutrition piece of this to truly lose the weight. She couldn't just do the shot and not do the nutrition. So Optavia, in January 3rd, we're actually partnering with LiveMD, and we are going to be able to send clients to them to see if they qualify for medical weight loss paired with the nutrition from Optavia. So listen, it's not for everybody. Everybody doesn't need that. So say, for instance, her husband has lost 65 plus pounds. He
Mhm.
did not need that. He is doing incredible and amazing. But like for Amanda, tell them what you told me, what it helped you do. There's one thing that you said about this right here.
Yes.
What
Yep.
did that help you do as far as with the food?
It stopped the food noise. Food is certain foods, sugar, things like that are truly, I have a food addiction. And so addiction is can be so many different things. It doesn't have to be drugs
Yes.
or alcohol. It can be so many
Yes.
things. And when you eat certain foods, it triggers dopamine release in the brain, which releases happiness and um stress relief, and all of that is what I got from those things. Now that
Mhm.
happens with other things for other people. Mine happened to be food, and I just couldn't get past the food noise in my head. And that's another benefit of the Manjaro. It helps my blood sugar, it delays gastric emptying, so I'm not starving. And it stopped the food noise. So I was able to focus on other things besides thinking about food constantly. And like I said, the two together, I really feel like were the change for me that I needed. I was successful on Optavia by itself, and I was partially successful on Manjaro, but pairing them together just gave me the combination that I needed to be successful. And like you said, Corey, he doesn't have the food noise. He doesn't have that addiction component necessarily.
Mhm.
And not that if you take the shot, you have an addiction to food. It's just if you do, it's a huge benefit. Just like being a nurse in rehab, helping people detox from drugs and alcohol, there were medications to help them do that successfully and safely. And that's okay as long as you're also doing the work.
Yes.
Don't have to
Yes.
see it as, taking the easy way or using a crutch. It's using a tool that God gave you. I talked to one of my
Mhm.
best friends, and she said, if you're doing this to lose weight, that's one thing. But if you're using it as a tool God gave you to get healthy, that's
Yes.
different. Because then you're not relying on the tools, you're relying on God and yourself, and you're just using those tools.
That's good, right? You're not using it just to get skinny and to wear a size 5.
Right.
You are literally doing this to take back your health, and
Mhm.
then with the nutrition and with having a coach, and you have to do the hard work. Just like when you worked at a drug rehab facility, like if they took the medications, but they weren't doing the work to change
Yeah.
their mindset, to change their thoughts. We talk about getting in our life book by Dr. Anderson and working through this stuff like, why are you doing this? What is your why? I remember at the very beginning, I sent you a picture of your kids, and I put
Mhm.
my why on it for your why, so that you could put it on your phone or you could put it wherever it was. So every time that
It's
you
still
okay,
here.
It's still there. It's still there. And that is true. It's because your why had to be so big. It had to be bigger than, hey, I want to wear a size 5. Hey, this is my why. I want to live for my kids. I want to be around to have grandkids. I want to be the healthiest mom that I can be. I want to be the healthiest wife that I want to lead by example because I'm leading 2 kids and they're following my example. And I don't want those kids coming in the same direction. And so I love how you talked about how the shot, this is not something that you're just taking and doing, but you're literally having to do the hard work. Some of the things that I ask you to do is to show up on our community Zooms, to get in the room. Like you
Mhm.
have to get in the room with other people that are healthy and that are moving forward, or none of it will work. None of it will eventually work
That's right.
unless you change your environments, you change, all the things.
Mhm.
And it is so important to get into community to do that. Listen, I've been doing this. I've been coaching for 4 years, owned a gym for 3 years before that, taught a cardio class before that. I've always loved health. But can I tell you, when I got in with Optavia, when I got into this community, it was one of the most healthiest communities I've ever been in. And I continue to get in the room with healthy people. They make me better. I just finished a 90-day fitness competition because I decided to say yes and get in the room. So I want to tell Amanda, the biggest thing is you continue to get in the room. You got in the room a couple weeks with me at a beehive. You just put yourself, oh, hang on, something's trying to come on my screen. You just put yourself out there. You didn't know where we were going. You didn't know
Mhm.
what house we were going to. I could have taken you to a crack house. I mean, you didn't know. You just said, I need to be in that room and I am going to make space and make time to get in that room. Here's a lot of things I see. People don't make room to get in the room because we can make a lot of excuses. You actually rearranged your work schedule to get off work early to get in that room. You got to get in those rooms. You got to get in those rooms. So Amanda is down over 60 pounds. How are you feeling and how is it going now?
I'm feeling great. It's going well. It's going really well. My life is changing. But part of the benefit of coaching, like you said, is talking through things with your coach. And you told me this was going to be coming, where you get to a point where you feel good and you're happy and you kind of get comfortable. And I wasn't doing enough of the work. I had opened my life book a few times, but I hadn't read it and dug into it and taken notes. And so it was time because I was starting to struggle, and it was over the holiday, and I thought, you know what? Brandy would tell me to get in my book and start work using the tools. I mean, the tools are there for us to use, and if we don't use them, it's kind of like the definition of insanity, doing the same,
Yes.
expecting something different. And something in relation to that I learned from one of the books that you and I are going through, the Failing Forward, is the key to overcoming failure doesn't lie in changing your circumstances. It's in changing yourself. And it begins with the desire to be teachable. So I sat down, I skipped, I don't remember where my family was going, but I said, no, I'm going to stay home. And I got in my book and decided, like I said, instead of changing my circumstances, get all this holiday food away from me or whatever, I decided to
Yes.
start working on myself. So,
That's
um,
powerful.
and the other thing that I learned from that is motivation won't strike you like lightning. I waited so much of my life to be motivated to do this, but I mean that was, you just have to start it, and then once you get going in whatever you're pursuing, usually the motivation will come. But it's not just gonna, you're not just gonna wake up one, I mean, you may, but it's not as likely to
Yes.
wake up one day and just be 100% motivated to change everything. You have to start doing the steps, and as you do them, the more motivation comes, in my opinion.
True. So the John Maxwell book we've been reading has been phenomenal, phenomenal. Failing Forward. It's not if you're going to fail, you will fail. And it's what do we do with that? How do we keep shifting and growing? And every time we fail, and here's the other thing is I believe because Amanda had a plan on what to do. She wasn't just out there going, hey, I'm just going to do this and I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to get healthy and I'm just going to whatever. No, she had a plan. She has a nutrition plan to follow. Listen, if I didn't have a nutrition plan to follow for 90 days, like I would have never made the stage in the competition.
Yeah.
Like Amanda would not be at her weight loss if she didn't have a plan. You have to have a plan. Listen, even though I'm not doing a competition anymore, I still have a nutrition plan. And we love it. We love having a plan. We love staying in structure. It's discipline and I love it. It's are you determined enough? The motivation will come but you have to be determined to get up and do the things and walk through the hard, be accountable, be coachable, be teachable, because Amanda has been. You have been coachable. You've let go of a lot of old mindsets. We've actually talked about that. We'll let go of a lot of old thinking, just, oh, this is the way I've always done it. This is what works. Or I will even say this, because you're a nurse, at times you have let go of that. Hey, I'm a nurse. I know what to do. And let me coach you with that instead of thinking that way. You've
Yeah.
really been you've shifted with me, and which has had been beautiful. And I believe this is just the beginning for you, Amanda. And I believe that you're going to deal so much hope. There's so many people on here right now that need this hope. I believe your words have been anointed. Every time you speak, I can feel it. I can feel the impact that this has done for you and for your family. And so I just want to say, never, ever stop sharing this, because there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people that need this hope. There's people that are watching it right now that needed the hope. There's people that were just waiting to pull the trigger and say, okay, they're ready to raise their hand now and say, look, I need
Yeah.
hope. And Brandy, would you pull me out of this? Because I need somebody to partner with me, and it's powerful. So how would you like to just leave some hope for these people and end it with some encouragement?
Mm. Um, no, if everybody could know and feel how much Jesus loves you and how much, he wants good for you and happiness and joy in your life and your family and sometimes as moms we feel like pouring into ourselves is selfish, but he created us and he loves us. So investing in us is investing in him and will eventually glorify him. And that's all I can hope. This next year, my word is breakthrough. And I really want to break through so many more things still and help people and encourage. And if anybody needs encouragement, I would be happy to talk to them, because the gift that you've given me, Brandy, through coaching me is more than just weight loss. It's life changing. And I'm so
Yes.
thankful for it.
Amen. And when I started doing this, the Lord said, go get my church healthy. And he didn't mean my church. He meant the church. He meant people just like you. Obviously, I help all people and church people, all the things. But
Right.
now I see what God is doing in Amanda and Corey's lives. He's just waiting to place them somewhere in ministry. He's waiting to use Amanda in an incredible and mighty way for the kingdom. But he needed to work on Amanda first. He needed to get Amanda healthy. He needed to work on that. And so now this is just the beginning of what is yet to come. And so we'll just leave that with y'all right here. We pray that this is a blessing. We want to honor the Lord with everything. We thank you thank the Lord that he provided for her to be able to do this. We thank you that he spoke to her. He rewired her mind. And y'all be looking for Amanda. This is just the beginning as she continues to shrink, as she begins to even, we just even get off all medications, all the things. It's going to be incredible. You will not even recognize, by this time next year, you won't even recognize her because she's going to have so much breakthrough in 2024. And so if you don't follow her, go follow her, go friend her and watch her, because I'm going to encourage her to live her journey out loud. Because I promise, if we do it in the dark, if we diet in the dark or we do our health journey in the dark, it's really easy to go backwards, and we are always growing forward or we are growing backwards. So, okay, that's all I have. Amanda, anything else? Like any last thing?
That's all. That's it. I hope this blesses someone.
Okay,
'Cause
God
it was
bless
for
y'all.
me.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, God bless y'all, and y'all have an awesome day. It is time to fly.